call me the hope for the future and the very incorrigible patriotic seed of the African soil. And now in October, bosom of the Tosun, or tree, a film pinunia bunibako, Debradia ye, into the same ye. Yania Jabroso is answer Wamayan Qua, touch the mother would dream, Muji di Mufu Salia. The bit ya catching ya Kropon Basaya don't miss it. Yana swim, and your noa and Kininqua. On Brasia Quans, Jumedia, and the and Oman Dachi. Niketeke Letri. May a drum of mine gun and this wadi who the Bumamana Trapeno. Ejna Brand. Oman, ever fan into my perfra. He who ever thinks that Africa will not thrive is but only a detractor. But we are optimists who have carried solemn resolve, believing that Africa will reach its full potential someday. Ladies and gentlemen, my entry hotel, and now, my focus is on the mind of an African. And later after edika, many empeyophobia and free Korea so drink more. And I'm asking them a simple question. In 1945, when they gained independence from the British dominance, Eban is saying that they've been able to advance. And why is Ghana still where it is? This and many questions we'll be asking, begging to be answered right after the break. God Almighty save my continent Africa and make her great and strong, and save the lustrous siblings found on the surface of this great continent. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nana Utudapam, the voice for Africa. It is time for us to serve you well on the plate of peace and on the plate of hope. My talk this morning is founded on a particular piece, as was intimated by that Kenyan Dawn professor, Lumumba. And he said, Kodito Egusum, a language as was waved, or like was woven with the character of Swahili, which simply translates, I think, therefore I am. Now quickly I am referred into scriptures, where I have seen somewhere where it's written in the Bible that as a man thinketh, so is he. I am here to tell us that Africa is poor because her leaders have chosen the path of poverty. The difference between Africa and Europe, the difference between Africa and Asia, the difference between Africa and Australia, the difference between Africa and Antarctica, or the difference between Africa and the Americas is simple. The foreign countries have chosen the path of wealth, whilst our leaders have deliberately married the spirit of poverty. I think that unless Africa liberates her minds from the habits of mental slavery, we are going nowhere. As long as the minds of Africans are in the hands of foreigners, Africa has no future. As long as our destiny is determined by some foreign entities, Africa will never reach her full potential. You understand why? Ladies and gentlemen, in 1945, Korea, before it was divided into either south or north, following the support of the Soviet Union, the then USSR, combined with the US help to fight the Japanese, who were the imperialist colonial masters that had overtaken the reins of the land of Korea from 1945 until now. Why is Korea up and why is Africa down? Because in our minds, if you are an African, you are created to be poor. It is not true. This is a wrong narrative that we must change. You think that is fast because they came earlier before Ghana? Because on the 6th of March 1957, Ghana gained independence from the British dominance. Okay, then let me compare you to a close classmate. Ladies and gentlemen, on the 31st of August 1957, and this is something that you must know because it's important. On the 31st of August 1957, the likes of Singapore, 9th of August 1957, the likes of Malaysia, they gained independence at the same time when Ghana, the first African country in the Sub-Sahara to have regained independence. But the question is, how well did Abdul Kuntu Rahman, the founder of Malaysia, how well did he do that Nkrumah didn't do? What different did Singapore's leader Lee Kuan Yew show his people that the lives of Jomo Kenyatta of Kenya, or Julius Nyerere of Tanzania, or Samora Machel of Mozambique, or Nnamdi Azikiwe of Nigeria, or Madiba Mandela of South Africa, or Rastafari Makonnen, otherwise referred to as Haile Selassie of Ethiopia, what well did those people do that our African leaders didn't do? In fact, if you want to ask me, our African leaders, the first political leaders who have regained independence from our colonial masters, rather put forth practical and solidified grounds that would have propelled us and propelled our destiny onto a promised land of hope. Unfortunately, those that came after, because their minds were conquered, Africa is the way it is. I continue to tell you that Africa is the only continent that has a reserve of at least 90% of the whole world's raw material. And yet, unless we kneel in some white man's land, we cannot eat. Africa has no less than 60% of the world's gold deposit. So why do we have to beg as a continent before we can feed? Africa has the greatest of the whole world's diamonds. When it comes to human capacity, Africans are strong. In case you do not know, we built America. Africa built America in 1776 through George Washington or whoever who helped America to regain independence from the British. Africans were there. We stood firm. Now, the first 23 people who entered America working under what we call indentured servitude helped to build the land of America. The skyscrapers you see in America was built by our forefathers. What I'm saying is that the black man can also do it if a white man has done it. They are not better than us, only that they have conquered their mind, but we have allowed our minds and negative thinking to conquer us. As long as our minds are conquered as Africans, we will never get to the promised land of hope. If you are an African leader and you are watching me now, it is imperative to note and it is imperative to work with what I am saying, because some of these things you will never find in the books. Whatever you learn in the books came from the foundation of a common sense of somebody who may not have even attained formal education. Let me tell you, and let me quickly give you this history. The first heart transplant that was ever done had a major assist from a gardener. A gardener who did not have a formal education assisted fully before the first heart transplant could be done in the world. I am saying that Africans are crawling. We need to start running. I am saying that enough of being called snails, enough of being called tortoise. If Asia is a hare that runs faster If we cannot be like them, at least we can also be close like tigers who can also run. If America is a cheetah, which is the fastest running whatever, we can also get close, if not even overtake them. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, a few years back, great China, with all due respect to the Chinese government, was nothing to write home about. They started inventing whatever they could. After that time, Japan had even taken over. But when China decided to work, today, arguably, the Chinese economy is the biggest in the globe. America can say all what they can, but the truth remains that as far as economy is concerned, it is now with the Asian tigers. I am saying that Africa can surpass Asia. Africa can surpass America. Africa can surpass Australia, if not Antarctica. Africa can write our own story. We will never get anywhere as long as we do not believe in ourselves. We will never get to our dream as long as we do not believe in our dream. And that is why teams like Kumasi, Asante Kotoko, or Accra House of Oak, no matter how they play, we will still support Manchester United, Chelsea, Manchester City, and all the other foreign teams against our own local teams. It doesn't matter how Gollywood or Nollywood try in acting movie, we always prefer Hollywood. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a great mind, Kantanka, who has invented cars. Africans could have given ourselves a big market. The African Continental Free Trade Area is in our bosom. Unfortunately, we prefer VW to Kantanka, and it is even a shame, but people will call it economic progress, to have brought foreign, car entities in our own land competing with little Kantanka. What will Kantanka do if VW strike? I am saying that we do not even believe in Kantanka, and that is why we use foreign cars. How beautiful it will be when Africans like Kantanka will be given the support. So Namibia will be using our cars. Nigeria will be using our cars. Starting from Ghana, our president, our ministers, our members of parliament, all of us will be giving Africa that great market that it needs to have. I am saying that that time would have come when foreigners will even travel back home in Africa. Africa has done it before. In the days of Egypt, where civilization started from, when we and our forefathers were building pyramids, with all due respect to Europe, Europeans were living in caves. And that is a fact. In case you do not know, the richest man that has ever lived on the surface of the earth, what in history now, maybe I cannot tell the future, is Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa. History tells us how his riches abounds, how his tentacles was expanded and expressed in wealth and in money. So what it means is that if Africa has set the pace, we can also get there. But for now, we are living and swimming in the pool of mental slavery. Our minds are conquered. We no more believe in ourselves. So we will always prefer, I don't want to mention brand, but it doesn't matter how strong Odo rice or how strong Las Palmas cooks, we also prefer KFC. It's a sickening. It is a mind that has been entangled with slavery. We must leave that land onto a promised land of hope. I am concluding. In conclusion, I am suggesting to our leaders in Africa, especially the African Union, I don't want to call them lazy, but I think that they are below average. Instead of defending their people, their policies defend the West. Let me tell you, if Korea has done it, we can do it. If China has done it, we can do it. If Australia has done it, we can do it. If America has done it, we can do it. The black man was the first to be created. I have taught this before, and you are aware. According to Professor Mendu's own law, two white people can never give birth to a black. And that is why two white people have never been given birth to a black. And what it means is that if the white was first to be created, there was no way a black man would have come. But at least two black people can give birth to a white. And albino is even an example. So what it means is that if we were first to be given the opportunity to live, then why are we backsliding? Why have we been overtaken? Why is it that we can no more think for ourselves? Why is it that we do not believe in ourselves any longer? If only Africans will believe in themselves, I am telling you we can get there. with a population of at least 1.3 billion people. Can you imagine if Africa has a single economy? Can you imagine if Africa has a common currency? Can you imagine if Africa has a common army? Can you imagine if Africa has a common bank? As long as Africa is divided, the Bretton Woods institution, including but not limited to the World Bank and open to the IMF, will always be determining the pace of African president. But how beautiful it would have been seeing the unification of Africa. Africa would have created for herself a central bank. That bank will loan Egypt as that bank will loan Namibia. That bank will loan Nigeria as that bank will loan Ghana. That bank will loan Central African Republic as that bank would have loaned Congo. That bank will loan Togo as that bank would have loaned any African country within the continental space. So what it means is that Africa would have gained the strength and the needed impact that we need. Ladies and gentlemen, Mami Fancy and America will say, Omai Bakoswa, you say, believe in yourself as an African. The problems are available. Nobody will come from any other continent to salvage the economic failures or prefer solutions to our problems as Africans. We are the solution. Let's follow what Mahatma Gandhi said. He couldn't have put it any better when he said that we are the change that we want to see. If we want to be like Asia, if we want to be like America, if we want to be like Australia, if not Antarctica, we are the change we want to see. I am the change that I want to see, and that is why I have started speaking that someday Africa will finally get to her destination point. The name still remains Nana Otudakwa. I'm the voice for Africa. I'm the hope for this nation, and I'm the very incorrigible patriotic seed of the African soil. The show continues right after.